top 5 reasons you are not happy right now. The first 2 were worry and guilt, and we've discussed those and we've blogged about those over on the BlissBlog. And so today's topic then is overwhelm, feelings of overwhelmment. I don't know if overwhelmment is a word, but it should be. When you just have so much on your to-do list, so many depending on you, so many obligations that you don't know where to begin. I understand this feeling. This is the voice that's running around in our head at night that keeps us from sleeping. We can't stop thinking about what we're going to do and when we're going to do it and how, and it can be crippling. So we need to discuss it. Now, so feelings of overwhelmment. Here's the thing. We're busy women. A lot of us are business women, creative entrepreneurs. A lot of us have day jobs. A lot of us have families in addition to those day jobs. A lot of us have families that take up so much of our time that we don't have time for day jobs. So I know this. I raised 5 daughters. I ran my own business. I did, and I'm still doing it. And there are still times when that to-do list is just so endless and so long that it keeps me awake at night. So I'm going to give you my tips for overcoming that and getting rid of it. So what do you do when you have so many things on your to-do list that no human being could get them all done? The to-do list. Let's think about the to-do list. We are all going to die with an unfinished to-do list. That is a really good thing to write on your wall, paste it to your computer screen. That to-do list, it doesn't end. It's not like we're checking off the items so that we can get to the bottom and the to-do list will be done. Every day brings more little things to add to the bottom of the to-do list and more little things to add. We check a few off the top and we get a few more on the bottom, and it's so... Rather than thinking of it as an endless to-do list, how about we think of it as a part of our life? This is the life we have chosen, the career we have chosen, the family we have created, and it has certain components to it that require our attention. And it can be joyful attention, and it can be loving attention, and it probably is most of the time. So we shouldn't think of it so much as a to-do list as this is our life. So now that we've established that all the many things that we're so stressed about are just our life, we need to take ownership of the fact that we have created this life for ourselves, and we can change this life for ourselves in any way that we desire. There is no reason to feel so stressed about getting things done. If there are things on that to-do list that you don't want to do, take them off the list. Put them aside. Do the things you do want to do. As long as you are focused on the joyful things, the tasks that you can't wait to get to, those other things are going to somehow magically get done. There is an exercise that is completely Abraham-Hicks, and it's in their books, Law of Attraction, Living the Law of Attraction. They have many books, many titles, and it's all at abraham-hicks.com, and you can find all their stuff there. But they give this one really great exercise they call the placemat exercise, because Esther came up with it when she and Jerry, her husband, and they're the people who bring this information through, were on a road trip and at a restaurant, and she had this big to-do list and she didn't know what to do with it. So she took a placemat and flipped it over, and she made 2 columns on the placemat. This is your exercise, the placemat exercise. On one side, you write down things I'm ready to tackle at the top. And on the other side, you write down the universe. Give it over to the universe, or God, or goddess, or a source, or whatever, your higher self, whatever you call that higher power that you know is there. Name it. Put it on the other side of that list. So here's the list of things I'm going to do, and here's the list of the things I'm going to release to my higher power. And the things you put on your list are the things you can't wait to do. I can't wait to write that next scene, but I've got 10 Facebook posts I have to compose and schedule first. That sort of thing. You put the things you are eager to do. I'm always eager about the Facebook posts, so sometimes the writing is after that. But there are some people who just hate it. So take the things you don't want to do and put them on the other side of the list. Hand them over. Now, the thing is, when you do this, you have to let go of them. You have to stop worrying about it. You have to literally erase it from your to-do list. It's been given to them. The universe will handle that for you. You've got a staff right there. Every component that keeps the planets turning in their orbits and makes the sun rise every morning, and changes the season and makes the moon run through her phases and turn the tides, that energy, that's your staff right there. So write those things that you're not ready to handle over on the other side and let them go, and turn your focus towards the things on your endless to-do list that you're eager to do, you can't wait to do, you feel geared up and ready to do. Now, a couple of things will happen when you put this exercise into practice. First of all, some of those things something will change, and the thing that you had to do will no longer be required. For some reason, the situation changes, it's not necessary. The babysitting job that you had, agreed to do for your best friend, 2 weeks ago, suddenly her schedule changes and she doesn't need you anymore, that sort of thing. So things change and the things disappear from the list. So they get handled that way. Another thing that might happen is that someone else in your life steps up and takes care of those things for you, often without you even having to ask. Another thing that might happen is somebody might show up offering to do the job for a small fee. And they just appear. They come to you. You don't even have to go looking. It's just when you let it go, when you turn it over and let it go and focus on joy, focus on what you do love doing, these things will just fall into place. When you're focused on the stuff you don't want to do, what can you get more of? We've been doing this a while, guys. You guys know this. If you're focused on the stuff you don't want to do, that you're dreading, that is overwhelming you, all you are creating is more stuff that you don't want to do, that you're dreading, that is overwhelming you. That's all that can result from that. It's physics, it's science. This is how it works. You're creating that energy. So when you put them on the list and hand it to the universe or to the source, to your God, to your higher self, and you let go of it and stop thinking about it, now you focus on fun work, joyful work, things I can't wait to do, excitement, enthusiasm, reward, feeling capable and confident and accomplished. That is then pulling all things that match that energy into your experience, into your life, into your surroundings, right to you. And those things you didn't want to do, you've let go, they can't come back because now you've shifted, you changed the station. You're focused on stuff you do want to do. So the stuff you don't want to do can't keep bugging you unless you are wallowing in it and thinking about it and obsessing about it, okay? So that's one thing. So then somehow it gets done, other people show up and offer to do it, or it becomes no longer necessary. Or another thing can happen. You may wake up one morning suddenly eager and excited and thrilled about the idea of doing one of those things on that list. Sometimes it's because during your sleep, a whole new way of dealing with it comes to you because you've let go of it. You're not obsessing, so now your mind is free to channel the answers. So you come up with a whole different approach to that thing, and you wake up in the morning and you're suddenly eager to do it. If the universe hasn't taken care of it yet, well, actually the universe just did take care of it by giving you that inspiration. And now you tackle the thing and it's off both lists. So that's one way. Do the placemat exercise. There are other methods of the placemat exercise. Instead of writing things down in the universe's side of the to-do list and letting go, you can write them down and put them in a box. I have a little wish box for things that I really want very badly, and I cut out images of them. Images often speak much more powerfully to our subconscious than words do. So I get pictures of them, the things that I'm desiring or the things that I need to get accomplished, put them in the box. So then they're out of sight, out of mind, and then you just don't think about it anymore. So that's one method of dealing. So we talked about realizing that you're going to die with an unfinished to-do list. That's one. It's never going to be done. And here's the thing, you're never going to be done. We're eternal. There is no rush here. There is nothing that the world is going to end if you don't get it done. I promise you. There is nothing. The second thing is turning it over, letting it go, using the placemat exercise or another exercise, a box or something to write the thing down, let it go. Just hand it. What do they say? Let go and let God, right? Okay, so that's all this is. Just formalizing it in a ritualistic way and shifting your focus to the things you do want to do. Now, when you are lying in bed at night and those thoughts of all the things on your to-do list are running through your head, and you're saying, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to think about that. I'm creating more of it by thinking about that. I want to think about good stuff, but you're trying to go to sleep and you let go and it comes back. So here's what you do then. And it's really just a meditation. You just lie there in the bed, do the 3 deep breaths that we've done together so often here. Put your hands on your heart in some way. You can do it this way or this way. I like to use my fingertips because they're more sensitive in your heart area. And then just take 3 very, very deep breaths in through your nose, all your lungs can hold. When you think they're full, breathe in a little more, and then blow it all out through your mouth. And when you think your lungs are empty, blow out a little more, and do that 3 times. And you can do it now if you like, and your energy simply shifts. That's one thing. After you've done that and you're lying there in bed, comfortable, make sure you're comfortable, you're not too warm, and never take electronics into the bedroom. It's bad. It's a very bad practice for you. After that, so then I want you to do this yoga thing where you begin, and I learned it in yoga class in high school, you begin tightening up your muscles, one muscle group at a time. So you start at your feet and you clench your feet as hard as you can and you hold it for about 3 seconds, and then you relax your feet muscles. And when you think they're all relaxed, relax them a little more and just feel them kind of spread out. And then move slowly up your body. Do it with your calves, tighten them up, and then hold it 3 seconds and release, and then go on to your thighs and move on up your body. Every muscle group that you come to, tighten your abs, your lower back. You can kind of arch it in. I'm kind of doing it as I'm sitting here. Do your shoulders in the center of your back between your shoulder blades, and do your chest, tighten that all up, and your arms and your hands, and you do your face, and you look really, really funny, but who can see you? You're in bed, the lights are off. Scrunch up your face, feel the scalp of your top of your head and your scalp all tighten up, and down in the back of your neck, and just clench that jaw and the neck muscles, and then hold them for 3 seconds and release. Now, I have never yet done this exercise all the way through while I'm in bed trying to shut my mind off, because I'm asleep before I get through all the muscle groups. This is a really, really good method, I think, for falling asleep and shutting off the thoughts in your head. And as you're doing those things, you will notice that because your brain is busy thinking about which muscle group you're tightening and being aware of that area and feeling it and tightening. So your brain is distracted really from all the, oh my gosh, that washing machine is broken and I've got to call the plumber and the kids need a ride to soccer practice and all of that stuff that's going, that shuts it off. It just shuts it right off because you can't focus because you're focusing on the exercise. That's the reason that it works. So while you're doing it, if you can think about it, if it enters your mind too, so you're not so thoroughly distracted that you can think something positive about the way your day is going to go tomorrow, about the wonderful things that you accomplished today, about all that you did get done. Don't let the to-do list come back in. Just allow a small touch of thought that's positive and looking forward to the next day to come in. Because if you fall asleep on that note, you're going to wake up in a really, really great mood and a wonderful place. So those are some of the ways that I deal with feelings of overwhelmment. And then, really, we really need to realize that our lives are very meaningful, but they're not meaningful because of the things we're getting done. They're not meaningful because of the number of words we wrote this week. They're not meaningful because of the new client that we just landed and the great job that we did on that website we just made or whatever. They're not important because of that. They're important because we are giving spirit a ride along in the physical realm. The whole purpose of our existence is so that the energy that is source wanted to experience physical form, and here we are, and we're doing that, and we are that, and we're living that. And so I don't think when I go on a vacation, I'm not going to get there and then forget that I am there to have fun and start trying to repave the roads of the village that I'm visiting. Spirit didn't come into this form to work. It came to experience physical life. So I am telling you that the more you can put it into balance and realize that the only reason to work is to enhance your joy, the joy of your experience. So you're happier when you can eat. You're happier when you have heat and lights. You're happier when you have a roof over your head than when you're not. So those are good reasons to work. But the happier you can be in that work, the more rewarding and the more financially rewarding and spiritually rewarding it's going to be for you. So doing the joyful things, spending the time on what really is important, which is experiencing life. And so with my work, I can fall really into a trap where instead of experiencing the physical world that I came here to inhabit, I'm living in front of a computer screen. I can fall into that over and over again, but I am good enough at it now that I know when I'm doing it. My back starts aching, so I know I'm doing it too much. And I really try to reduce it to just a couple of hours a day. I get those pages done, and I take a break and I go outside. And really get outside, get into nature, and just experience the people and the planet around you. More time doing that than doing this. Okay, and that's really what life is about, is to be experienced and to be lived and to be joyful, just finding joy and just blissing out in every moment that you possibly can.